Hey YouTube, we are back into the 1v1s today, and we are going to be watching a couple replays from a guy that I think we have maybe covered once before, but we're going to go ahead and look at some of his 1v1s again, and that is Guz of North America, or specifically Guz Rusty AF is what his Steam name is right now, but we have matches between him and Squishy and him and First Killer, so we'll get an idea of how he fares against these top 1v1ers in the game. And right now, I think a lot of people are going to start getting back into the 1v1 game mode. So hopefully we'll get to see some replays popping up between some of the best. But in general, normally it's these guys like Guz, credit to Guz for uploading this replay to ball chasing, that we will be able to see against the top players. Not a ton of the top players will turn on auto upload on their replays against each other. But as these new grinders make their way through, it's usually when we get our chance to get a nice insight into how these guys are playing ones. And Guz, I'm excited to see what makes him a top ones player, as I've seen him on the top 100 leaderboard recently, and certainly his matches against these two great 1v1ers should be enough to give us an idea of how he likes to play. Right now, oh wow, fortunate. Did he get a save there? I think that had an orange trail, but he was playing very passively. Doesn't matter. Squishy is going to get his goal as he's able to follow that up just over the first minute mark. Guz, nice read on the fake kickoff of Squishy. Chipping the ball high. Trying to get Squishy double jumping using boost. Almost trying to capitalize on the same kind of situation that Squishy had a moment ago. Squishy does a better job in defense. Guz camping out on that back corner, able to steal the back corner in the midfield. Squishy has ball possession, but no boost to work with, so really high likelihood of a counterattack going in Guz's favor as Squishy rushes back to net and actually does a decent enough job of getting the clear past Guz, who I think actually just went a bit too all in there in the final moments. He needed to recognize that he had earned himself a really solid boost advantage and didn't need to dive as panicked to try and dunk Squishy. He probably could have played for the follow-up after Squishy's save, and he would have had him pinned back in a tough position for a long time. But he is going to be able to get his third goal. Squishy very clearly trying to push the ball right and succeeding in doing so. And it's just going to be able to outplay Guz. Drops the ball down, and Guz can't tell whether or not it's going to be a slow play into a 50 on that near post or a shot across the net, and it comes right as Guz stops his momentum. So, well-timed shot. What a save by Guz. Squishy going for pure power and speed by trying to slot it into that near corner. Guz was available for it, but it is the angle that gives Squishy the hardest shot. So he was hoping to just be able to beat him there. This time he's going to shoot off the top of the backboard. Guz side flip flick. Really impressive, actually, to be able to get that kind of speed. Squishy had recovered quickly, and not many flicks would have been enough to get him out of a saving position. Demo off the kickoff. Squishy with all the time in the world. What is Squishy trying to do in ones nowadays? We see a lot of players playing that into the air, but Squishy seems interested. Playing the ground game. Try to go for a double jump bump. Credit to Guz, who might be scoring on a counter right now. Squishy really felt like he was only giving it a half effort there, and that is not going to work against a talented ones player like Guz. I think against maybe some of the lower players you might match up against when queuing for a long time in ones, you could get away with some very simple double jump bumps or something that isn't quite as creative, but any of these top 100 players are going to be ready for that. Guz on the inside of the net. No, nice fake by Squishy. As Guz now up 5-3 with 1:45 left to go. Delayed kickoff for Guz. Is he going to stay on ball or leave it? He actually decides to just shoot. He saw Squishy wide. He had actually an opportunity. Oh, he's just going to turn and dunk. Squishy maybe not ready for this gung-ho type attitude. But as that ball was rolling back, I thought Squishy was around the play. Turns out Squishy had completely left. Guz actually did have time to leave the ball and grab boost and get back on the ball. He's going to play this one high. Guz, man, turning up the confidence. after what has been a good game for him so far. And now a 7-3 lead on Squishy. Squishy backing off on this kickoff. Is he in an advantageous position? I guess he probably is. He's going to be able to steal multiple boosts. Getting bumped on the back wall, though. Never really had control. The pinch from Guz. Is it off the corner and in? No, it isn't. Oh, my goodness. That would have been quite the way to go up 5. I have a feeling that would probably inspire a forfeit, but now Guz. First to really get into the air. Squishy tries to jump. Guz air dribble bump. And now with 58 seconds left, yeah, I expected it. With 58 seconds left, Guz styling on Squishy just towards the end of the game. The first of the two of them to want to go to the air. And it pays off, man. Guz taking risks, gets this game won over Squishy. But he also had a recent match against First Killer. Guz says he's rusty AF, and we're going to see how he does against First Killer. Interesting power slide into the kickoff to start off the game. It's actually going to work out. You saw him approaching the ball at a slight angle and had to hold power slide into the diagonal flip in order to not just get sent completely out of position. First Killer, though, should be able to score on this kickoff goal to even it right back up. Guz looking to try and stop the bleeding with the fake kickoff. It works out beautifully, but First Killer just dives on him. And now Guz, wow, tried to play it way too patient. Such a great fake kickoff to stop the string of kickoff goals, it seemed. And yet, played a little bit tentative. And it ended up being a First Killer goal either way. Guz now, what a flick, top left. Oh my goodness, we're not going to go more than 10 seconds without a goal. And this time it's because of a spectacular flick. Last time I would say it was mostly just a mistake from Guz. And okay, now we have a wave dash kickoff attempt and another goal. 3-2. Will we see any of that faking again? Now we're going to have First Killer just matching Guz on the wave dash kickoff. But Guz still first with possession. Trying to fake the start of the air dribble. First Killer doesn't fall for it. The flicks from Guz. My goodness. First Killer is basically testing him. Saying, if you can flick it top left or top right, then you'll beat me, sure. But anything else, and I'll be just fine. And Guz has risen to the occasion. But could you believe another kickoff goal? First Killer slamming it immediately in. Matched wave dash kickoffs. Guz trying to get the ball out of dangerous way and cannot pre-flip. I think there's a way that he could have controlled his car as he retreated back to net, that he could have saved it. But the way his flip worked, he kind of just matrixed around it instead. Now another kickoff win. Of course, another kickoff goal. We are 1 minute in. We are 1 minute in. And 9 goals have already been scored. Guz bumped forward. How has he not scored yet? The ball isn't in the nets. And that is a rarity in this game. First Killer with 36. Staying on an interesting side of the ball. Because it did seem like he wasn't protecting his net. That Guz could have rushed it around him and gotten the goal. But the angle was just barely off. And the angle is going to be just barely off again here for Guz. As the boost spawns just as he picks it up in the corner. Doesn't get much better than that, but actually it might have convinced him to stay aggressive when he otherwise would have left. And because he stuck around, made a bad touch and allowed First Killer to tie it up. Wave dash kickoff for First Killer. Attacking immediately. Guz has the save. Looks down to see if First Killer is going to try and bump him. First Killer electing to play the boost over the possession, and now heads to the skies for the first time. This reset falls to Guz, who never really had to worry about a real shot coming. First Killer tried to pass back to himself, but too strong. Either that or he just can only really get away with that when he has boost to work with. At 0, he could not beat Guz back to the ball. First Killer undercuts, and Guz retakes the lead. It has been Guz who has been mostly leading in this game, but it's hard to say But he's really been winning by too much when the equalizers always come quick. Here's First Killer on the reset, 50. This time protected well. Should be able to steal back corner boost. And he's going to attack right again. Looks to be prioritizing making a play on the ball immediately and not letting Guz get comfortable, because certainly no direct plan to score with that high aerial touch, but found its way through as Guz hesitated to make a play. Now First Killer, first touch wide of the nets. Not an issue for a guy like him. The reset top shelf, no, and he actually put it just a bit too high. And it'll be a goal for Guz. It has to be crossbar and down at least slightly. Basically, it wasn't crossbar, it was backboard. As long as you hit crossbar in any capacity, you're usually fine. The bounce harder to read, and it's less directly out to your net, but First Killer taking risks that aren't paying off. What a smooth catch. Immediately tied up again, as we should have known. The script declared that it'll be every other. Okay, Guz a fake. This is such an obvious adjustment that both these guys need to be making the way these kickoffs are going. Nice read by Guz, who got control and saw First Killer was going to try and dive. So the long shot pays off. Here I am saying that the fake kickoff is great because it might stop the kickoff barrage, but First Killer still deciding to play aggressively, and means Guz will score immediately. Guz, way too much of a panic play there. First Killer is going to be able to easily score this. Somebody needs to calm down. The first person to calm down in this game might just come away with the win. First Killer, that's what I'm talking about, not calming down. Great catch by Guz, who's going to waste a little bit more time. But both these guys' control is at a level where all these panic dives are just getting beaten. Guz, fake kickoff. First Killer is going to dive this time, and this just works out. I think Guz may be expecting no way. After the history of all these dives, they've all been unsuccessful. I have the ball on top of my car. I could flick you if you were to dive, so certainly you won't. But no. First Killer is W key all game. Doesn't seem to want to stop that. So 9-9 with a minute left to go. First Killer, high pop. One that Guz is going to be able to get to easier, but Guz doesn't control. He actually just ends up passing the ball to First Killer. So he has to save on the tight angle shot. This time Guz is threatening his flick a lot more than he was the last time he got dunked. He knows he needs to really show that he could flick. It did work to get First Killer to not challenge, but the downside was that First Killer had enough separation that he wasn't out of position, but the ensuing vibe for the ball does fall in favor of Guz. So 10-9, 40 seconds left. There's going to be at least 7 more goals, so this lead doesn't necessarily matter for Guz. Fake shot there to get First Killer out of position. You see him power sliding in net as he tries to move to cover the opposite side without putting himself completely out of position for a save. First Killer in the air. The fake wave dash is back instead. And Guz falls for it. 10-10. 12 seconds left to go. Not for one moment have these guys stopped scoring the entire game. And now First Killer just handed the ball to Guz. The long shot. It's on target. 1 second now. First Killer, I tell you what, not backing down in this ranked game. Not ever playing safe for a single moment. Did try and delay to maybe chip it up, and Guz delayed even more. So it will hit the ground. Guz are going to win 11-10. My goodness. One of the most kickoff heavy games I've ever seen by Guz and First Killer. Maybe a little bit more fakes is probably what these guys should have been doing, but either way, you know, Guz playing a couple good ranked games between some of the top best players in North America. I hope to see more from Guz, more ones grinders, and of course we always love the ones grinders who upload their replays. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the return to ones here today after the RLCS, and hopefully we got more show matches before Gamers 8 coming up.